If ginning is fair, then trading is fair, and vice versa. One isn't more or less fair than the other just because one of them is... Okay, never mind. We have now found the new most incorrect sentence in the history of the world. A tradition on the main channel, but now that I've been uploading here, let's take one of the comments that kind of captures everything an idiot says about cheating in Pokemon and just debunk it live. If you enjoy the video, don't forget to leave a like, share with your friends, and comment your thoughts down below. So it's incredibly obvious to me that ginning is not cheating. They always start the same, and they are always debunked by the same statement. Time and resources are competitive advantages. That's a fact that has never been disputed before all these weirdos in the Pokemon community sprouted up, and that's just how competition works. Never before in gaming did anyone say hacking your game at a competitive event is not cheating, and then in TCGs, you're not allowed to use proxied cards. No one defends proxying a $700 deck. No one defends proxying the most expensive card in the set to then win prize money with that. That is an advantage that rule-following players do not have. But only in the Pokemon games do you see this level of idiocy. You quite literally don't gain an actual competitive advantage from it. Even though I've seen this countless times, the stupidity still gives me pause. And then this dude just goes insane. Now, you might argue that it does give the ginner an advantage over a non-ginner. Yes, that is what is being argued because the rules say no hacking. So we're not talking about a hacker versus hacker, we're talking about someone breaking the rules, gaining this advantage we're about to describe. Since building a team from scratch takes time, skipping that time allows for a better team from someone who has a lot of obligations. Admitting that there is a limited amount of time and resources, and if you cheat, you're going to have a better setup than someone who is following the rules. Also, as my main channel has shown over the last decade, and this channel is consolidating, the arguments from cheaters just get worse and worse because it's gone from, oh, that full team of shiny legendary Pokemon in Generation 5 and Generation 6 with perfect hidden power, that's not cheating. Shiny Pokemon doesn't mean cheating, to now, okay, everyone's cheating, but here's why it's a good thing. And because the cheating can no longer be ignored, the arguments just get worse and worse and more stupid, especially as we see lies from Pokemon Challenges, Blissey, Wolfie VGC, and all the other evil influencers in the Pokemon community. Obligations doesn't mean shit to competitive. The Olympics committee doesn't go, oh, you have a wife and kids and you're working 2 jobs to support them? Okay, you can take some banned substances to make up for the training that you're losing because of your obligations. The first barrier to competition, level 0, is unbelievable amounts of sacrifice and hard work. But the entitled brats in the Pokemon community have never earned or worked for anything a day in their lives, so they cry about it. Not only does that sound more like leveling the playing field than anything else, the exact opposite of cheating. So giving someone with obligations rule-breaking advantages, which is literally the definition of cheating, is now a level playing field. Again, never, like, it's so bafflingly stupid that's never been uttered in any other form of competition. It's unbelievable how bad faith these losers have to get to justify their entitlement, bastardizing the entirety of competition and every word they use to somehow come to the conclusion not having an obligation is cheating, and then excusing the people with quote-unquote obligations to be allowed to cheat to make up for that deficit. If you have more time and money or less family or things to take care of, yeah, that's an advantage, but it's a legal advantage. And then we get into the pure irony that these people can never admit when they are 100% objectively wrong, but then they accuse me of never admitting when I'm wrong, when my statement is cheating is wrong. Calling using Gen Pokemon cheating is like saying buying singles in a trading card game as opposed to pulling all of your cards from packs is cheating because the luck needed to pull the correct cards is a legitimate competitive advantage. That is... Wait. Because getting the luck needed is a legitimate competitive... Now they don't even know what I'm talking about. I don't even think they know what they're talking about. We're not even done with the first comment, and it's already incoherent. It's also funny because these people never use the example of proxies as cheating because everyone TCG understands that's cheating. They have to make up other weird situations like, well, then it's cheating to not carve your pieces in chess. Well, those aren't the rules of chess, and it's not even a valid hypothetical because we can't even begin to understand the repercussions of what would happen if those are the rules of chess. That if we assume that players are legal players, yeah, Magnus Carlsen is going to carve his own pieces because he's a psychopath that will dedicate everything to mastering the game, and that includes mastering any part that is demanded by the rules. So the chess example is double debunked, and these people have no argument, so their only example is something completely made up, because there's no example in reality that actually supports them. Ginning is against the rules. Buying Pokemon cards is not against the rules. There's vendors at Pokemon TCG events. Berating your opponent will certainly get you banned too, but obviously that isn't cheating because it doesn't give you advantage. Which is actually completely wrong, because demoralizing or humiliating an opponent to offset them mentally does create an advantage, which is why many different sportsmanship rules exist. A better example would be getting kicked out for littering, but even then, like, cool, the rules cover multiple ways that a player can become ineligible. If we're talking about things that directly affect the game, like hacking the game, we can talk about cheating. And again, you have to completely detach... it's so bafflingly stupid, because, like, here it is. Everything debunked. Having more time is an advantage for practice. Even with Pokemon Showdown, there's a finite amount of time from needing to make your team to the event that's coming up, and that time needs to be spent in-game. Playing Pokemon Showdown doesn't give you mystery gift points that then puts the Pokemon you used in Showdown in your game officially. So that isn't a valid argument. And again, if you need to change your team in a very short amount of time, that's humanly impossible. Ginning gives you that advantage. These are understandings of rules and competition that we learn in elementary school, but the Pokemon community is just too stupid to get it. And that gets even crazier. Do you consider using Pokemon that were trained up legitimately by a friend, then traded to you for use in tournament, to be cheating? I've never said it was, but this is a bad faith question to try to set me up into some kind of gotcha. And the funny thing is, it never works out because Wolfie proved that this is not a real example that happens. And there's a video on this channel saying you are not allowed to buy Pokemon for competitive use. So that wallet diff is actually cheating. So for this example, they have to throw away the concept of obligations and then give you a friend with no obligations who wants to give you dozens of hours of their life for free, who is also experienced in competitive Pokemon and training Pokemon, that doesn't want to enter an event with all the time and work they are putting in to those Pokemon. It exists. There's a few people out there that just love the skill expression inside of breeding, but that also dies more and more every day as there's like more and more cheaters and then people don't want to put in the work. So I mean, like, this example, again, it's a bad faith, like, trying to gotcha thing that doesn't even hold up, because working with a friend to get Pokemon is legal. It's not against the rules. So this is what happens when an idiot thinks they found something around the rules that debunks me. It's basically the same thing as ginning, only it's legal. To have a friend make Pokemon for you in real time where ginning hacks it in instantly. So how is it basically the same thing when, like, the amount of work to get that Pokemon legally in-game still needs to be done? And that leaves me with three options. Trading and ginning are both cheating because they both give you an unfair advantage. Just completely incapable of understanding what words mean, and we're going to get to what these words mean, because fairness is defined by the voluntary set of rules these players are opting into. It's not against the rules for someone else to train your Pokemon. It's an advantage, but it's a fair advantage because it follows the rules. There's nothing unfair about it. Meanwhile, hacking is objectively unfair. Neither trading nor ginning are cheating because neither gives you an unfair advantage. What? How is... What? Trading isn't cheating, and ginning is, because cheating has nothing to do with unfair advantages and is purely about what's banned by the rules. The rules are what makes it cheating. And this is where the stupidity gets more baffling, because now they're debunking themselves. These options explain how ginning is cheating, but because this person doesn't understand the definition of cheating, they think they have a gotcha. Number 4, wait, pick one of them has to be true, unless you pick the stupid option. Ginning gives an unfair advantage, and trading doesn't, despite the fact they basically do the exact same thing at the end of the day. I tell him all of his options are invalid because he doesn't comprehend what advantages and rules are. And then he's just like, well, then what's the correct answer? So entrapping me into a bad faith scenario, does your mom know you're gay? You can only say yes or no, is what this guy is trying to do while just giving 4 completely invalid things, like the options that do not represent reality. Really sounds like I'm going with option 4, even though I'm not, because trading and hacking are not comparable. He calls them the exact same thing. It's actually insane. I assumed you would. Oh, but see, he got me, guys. He pre-baited it. He set up all of these just like completely wrong things, and then also the stupid wrong thing. And he assumed I would go with his fabrication of a stupid option. He got me, didn't he? I also thought you would at least attempt to argue how that position makes a lick of sense. Well, I argued how it doesn't make any sense because their argument is so wrong, they have to say trading and hacking are the same thing, therefore you're wrong. Fact is, ginning and trading do objectively allow for the exact same type of advantage. This has to be the most wrong sentence ever typed out in the history of humanity. And you have failed to argue against that, except I haven't, because the rules define what is a legal and illegal advantage. These are 2 different things. Having a legal advantage and an illegal advantage aren't objectively the exact same. But he thinks he found the silver bullet, so he's committing to it. Ginning and trading both allow for the exact same type of advantage. Bro, I just explained it. An illegal and legal advantage cannot be the exact same. Saving time and money. Now admitting, oh, time and money and resources are advantages. So then breaking the rules to gain an advantage is the definition of cheating. It's cheating. How are these kids so stupid? If ginning is fair, then trading is fair, and vice versa. One isn't more or less fair than the other just because one of them is... Okay, never mind. We have now found the new most incorrect sentence in the history of the world. In order for one of them to be cheating and the other not to be, my definition of cheating must only care about what's legal and completely disregard fairness. Except legality in the rules determines what is fair, and violating that is cheating by definition, which would be option 3. So again, just making up these wrong examples because they're too stupid to operate inside of reality or understand anything going on here, and then assigning me to it while being completely wrong the entire way. And now here's the crazy thing. He has my argument as to why cheating is wrong, but has to slip in a lie because his entire stance crumbles without it. Either ginning and trading are both unfair advantages, but only ginning is cheating because it's illegal, or ginning and trading are both fair, but since ginning is illegal, it's still cheating. The legality is what defines the fairness. Yes, having a friend that can just make you all of your Pokemon is an advantage. It's a legal advantage. Legal is fair. But they I think as they were typing out, they're like, oh shit, I'm wrong. But no one can ever admit they're wrong. Always versified derangement syndrome. So yeah, legal, fair by definition. Illegal, cheating by definition. You lose, try again. Fairness has nothing to do with legality. If there was a tournament, so once again, making up rules that don't reflect reality and have never existed because their point has been completely proven wrong. There was a tournament, they used Regulation H Pokemon restrictions, unless your name is Jordan, in which case you're allowed to bring whatever Pokemon you want, then someone named Jordan bringing a team of 6 legends would be 100% within the tournament rules. Well, actually not, because Regulation H doesn't allow for 6 legendaries, so that Jordan would be disqualified. But obviously it wouldn't be fair. Except it's completely fair because those are the rules of the tournament that everyone's signing up for, and all that it means is that only people named Jordan are going to enter the tournament, and you can't support a prize structure of tens of thousands of dollars with 5 people named Jordan entering the tournament. So Pokemon JVGC would be a very short-lived, unsuccessful tournament format. And if there's like some kind of argument where, well, what if in the middle of a tournament, only people named Jordan were suddenly allowed to change their team to allow for a legendary Pokemon? That's illegal when you have cash prizes going on. So this is the amount of delusion that people supporting Wolfie VGC and cheating are under when it comes to Pokemon. And that means either cheating is the opposite of legal, in which case Jordan is not cheating because he's following the rules. Well, yeah, he's not cheating because he's following the rules. Or cheating is the opposite of fair, and Jordan is cheating because he's playing in an unfair way. Except it's not unfair to follow the rules that he's allowed to just be better than everyone else because of his name. I guess you could define fair as within the rules, which is literally the definition of fair. But even ignoring that, basically nobody's definition of fair. The actual definition of fair to this person is nobody's definition of fair. And then you have to drop the whole unfair advantage. I'm lost here. Like, where is he even going? So I give him the definition of fair within the established rules. Ignoring that Pokemon itself is a great example of people largely deeming illegal play fair. Well, it doesn't matter what the competitors think. If they're breaking the rules, it's unfair. And that's why all these VGC players are forced to lie about using hacked Pokemon. That no one's public about, hey, I RNG'd back in Generation 5 because it was cheating. No one's saying, oh yeah, just hack all my Pokemon. Just gen them. That's how you're supposed to participate in VGC. No one publicly says that because it's unfair, and they'll get banned for it because they are not the ones that determine the rules. And ignoring that your definition of fair is not what the dictionary will tell you. This idiot has never picked up a dictionary in their life. It explains everything. I've been trolled. I've been baited. If fairness is literally another word for rule following, then saying that genning is cheating because it's unfair is by your own definition the exact same thing that saying genning is cheating because it's against the rules. It's literally option 3. Except, no, like that, it's actually crazy because, again, now he forgot his own lie about sneaking unfair in. Trading is following the rules. So if we're going off of fairness being rules following, trading is fair, genning is not fair, literally not option 3 because they did not provide a valid option. Whether you realize it or not, you've made it very obvious that the only thing you care about is the rules being followed. Yes, that's been my transparent argument from the beginning. Breaking the rules is cheating. Cheating is wrong. Lying about it to steal tens of thousands of dollars in prize money is evil. Wolfglick, Blissey, and Pokemon challenges are all evil for defending that behavior and encouraging children to do it. Wow. I have no issue with that at all. Really, I don't. If you want to continue on your moral crusade against those who flagrantly disregard the rules, by all means continue. I just want you to admit that it's not about advantages and just about pure legality. This confirms people that think genning isn't cheating are the flat earthers of the Pokemon community, because all you have to do is just follow their arguments around, and you're going to hit a contradiction, and then they're forced to lie about it. I just want you to admit this isn't about advantages. I mean, that was literally the first thing I said, is that time and resources are competitive advantages. And they even acknowledge as much in their comments. Like, okay, time's an advantage, so that means having friends is an advantage. Yeah, but since it follows the rules, it's not an illegal advantage, so it doesn't matter, and that's what fairness is about. And then I actually have to bring out the definitions to him. Fair, conforming within the rules. Cheating, to violate the rules dishonestly. And just so baffling, because these idiots say, well, your rules might make it to where a gen Pokemon is illegal. But it's like, no, those are the rules. Those are the rules of the tournament from the makers of the game. Those are not my rules. These are not my definitions. These are the dictionary definitions that you learn in first grade. And me using dictionary definitions is just semantic arguing that doesn't matter. I think I've realized what the actual crux of the argument is. Bro, that was the first thing we talked about, and since I immediately debunked you because time is an advantage, you rambled and just went completely ill. You might say, of course it is. It saves time and resources. Here's the thing. Someone who genned is not at an advantage against someone who didn't. Why? Like, explain how. This debunks you. And you also admitted to it that if having more time and resources is an advantage and having friends is an advantage, and then their entire argument was based off of that, and then that got debunked, so now they're just cycling back to the beginning again. How is making teams an inhuman pace to be able to play the game not an advantage? So yeah, someone who genned is objectively an advantage, which is why cheating is wrong. Having more time and resources to practice and play new teams or react to the meta at a humanly impossible speed is a competitive advantage. That's just a fact. And that's the thing, like, they think they have it. Oh, genning isn't cheating because the stats are the same. But then it's like, no, there's other factors here. It's not only about what happens on battle. If you have a better coach, dietitian, trainer, and training equipment, you are going to be at a competitive advantage in sport. Outside of battle actions are as important as to what happens in battle proven by sports and all other forms of competition that have ever existed. Only this derangement is found in the Pokemon community. Now, there's a weird thing that goes on with YouTube, and I get like shadow banned from my own comments, that this is not a restricted comment. I can find it in my analytics dashboard, but it doesn't show up in the comments section. So their response to getting 100% debunked by reality and how words work. That's not how it works at all. This is the reason you're laughing stock of the Pokemon community. Delirious. You take the worst take known to man, that cheating is wrong, that not a single soul agrees with, and you go on an absurd moral crusade over it. But don't worry, I'm sure Wolf's quaking in his boots. Except Wolf is quaking in his boots because he's so terrified of me and Kurt that he can't even address or acknowledge us or acknowledge the cheating that we have shown in the community, which is why he can just like stutter and fiddle around with his mic and change the topic every time and then just lie on camera, which is what this video exposes nonstop. And whenever he starts going down the path that, oh wait, cheating is wrong, and I'm about to expose that I'm a cheater, all these people are cheating, and that cheating is wrong, he immediately pulls away and deflects from it, and then just lies his way out of it. And that if you keep this up just a little bit longer, everyone will change their minds and realize ginning is cheating, even though by absolutely no metric does it give you an objective advantage. Having more time and resources being unfair is literally their entire argument. So they debunk themselves, but no, I'm wrong somehow. And you'll be heralded as a savior of competitive Pokemon, or nothing will change. People will continue to see you as a deranged lunatic till the day where Game Freak makes creating a competitive team easy enough that ginning becomes obsolete. Why would they need to do that if ginning doesn't give an advantage? Or you could stop seething at people better at the game than you. By cheating, they prove they're not better. They have to break the rules to disadvantage others to perform at events. And then in the older examples, the foundation of VGC with Generation 5, 6, and 7 with Wolf Glick, cheating gave them better stats and moves than all the players following the rules. So it's not an excuse. Pretty obvious best players would be the best players with or without ginning, except all they've proven is that they can't win without ginning, which is why we see all these disqualifications and career cheating like with Wolfie VGC. And I'm sure there's nothing in this world that makes you more upset than that fact. Except that's not how competition works. Again, by cheating, they prove they have no skill to win legitimately. So yeah, that's my daily, and this shows how 90% of the Pokemon community is stupid. Hope you guys enjoy the video. Hope you all have a nice day. Thank you very much for watching.